You were conditioned to apologize just to maintain harmony. But peace that demands your silence, self-betrayal, and submission isn't peace at all. Starting today, stop saying sorry for these things. 1. Prioritizing yourself first isn't selfish, it's essential. From childhood, we're taught to be selfless, to serve, to give. While kindness has its place, many take it too far, apologizing for self-care, feeling guilty for saying no, and equating self-sacrifice with virtue. But the truth is, you can't save others while drowning yourself. Your time, energy, and well-being are sacred. If the source is depleted, everything suffers. How often have you ignored your own needs, only to end up drained and resentful? Loving others doesn't mean abandoning yourself. Boundaries aren't walls, they're filters. Those who truly care will respect them. The rest may call you selfish or claim you've changed. Let them. You weren't born to carry burdens for those who never ask how you're doing. Putting yourself first means silence and chaos, logging off, skipping events, choosing rest, and cutting ties with energy drainers. The more you do it, the more your life aligns. The right people will emerge. Those who match your peace, not your chaos. 2. Walking away, ending a relationship doesn't make you heartless. It means you've had enough. Enough disrespect, inconsistency, and one-sided effort. Society glorifies loyalty, urging you to endure under the guise of love. But real love doesn't diminish you. Time doesn't equal worth. Some people stay in your life only because you allow it. Letting go is radical self-respect. Yes, it hurts. You'll question if you were too harsh. But that's not guilt, it's detox. You're grieving the version of you that shrank to keep them comfortable. Protect your peace fiercely. Not everyone deserves access to you. Some doors stay locked. Walk away without hatred or drama. Your future self deserves better. 3. Wanting more. Gratitude doesn't mean settling. You can appreciate your journey and still crave more. More peace, purpose, growth. But ambition makes people uneasy. They'll call you ungrateful or unrealistic. Ignore them. Wanting more isn't greed, it's evolution. You're demanding more from yourself, not handouts. The world wasn't built by the complacent, but by those who refuse to accept enough. Don't shrink to comfort others. Chase what sets your soul on fire. 4. Having standards. Raise your standards, and some will call you difficult. Let them. You should be hard to please. Settling for crumbs when you deserve a feast is self-betrayal. I once tolerated half-hearted effort, mistaking silence for love and excuses for effort. Then I stopped. The wrong people left. The right ones stayed. Standards aren't pickiness, they're clarity. Love yourself enough to walk away from anything that disrupts your peace. 5. Being unapologetic. There comes a moment when you stop seeking permission to exist. You're not rude, you're free. No more softening your voice, downplaying goals, or apologizing for taking up space. People may call you too much. Let them. Their discomfort reflects what they can no longer control. Unapologetic living means no over-explaining, no shrinking, no chasing those who treat you as an option. Your circle may shrink, but your peace will grow. 6. Outgrowing people. Growth means some relationships won't keep pace. It's not arrogance, it's evolution. The love may remain, but the alignment fades. I once clung to a friendship out of nostalgia. Though our paths diverged, letting go wasn't betrayal, it was honesty. Some people are seasons, not lifetimes. Don't let loyalty to the past sabotage your future. 7. Changing your mind. Society shames shifting beliefs, but growth demands it. Consistency isn't strength if it keeps you stagnant. You're allowed to evolve, to admit you were wrong, to leave behind what no longer serves you. People may weaponize your past, let them. You owe yourself truth, not rigidity. Changing your mind isn't hypocrisy, it's wisdom. The world will try to mold you to guilt you for choosing yourself. Remember, you don't owe comfort to anyone. You owe yourself freedom. Be bold, be unapologetic. The right people won't fear your growth. They'll celebrate it. Now go, live fully without permission and never apologize for it. 8. Saying no. You were taught that no is a rejection, a sign of rudeness or selfishness. But no is a complete sentence, a boundary, not an insult. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you betray yourself. People will test your limits. They'll push, guilt trip, or act wounded when you decline. But the reaction isn't your responsibility. Saying no isn't cruel, it's honest. It preserves your energy for what truly matters. The right people won't punish you for having limits, they'll respect them. Resting. We live in a world that glorifies exhaustion. If you're not grinding, you're falling behind, or so they say. But rest isn't laziness, it's restoration. You can't pour from an empty cup. You'll hear it. You're not working hard enough. Sleep when you're dead. Ignore it. Your body isn't a machine. It's your home. Honor it. Burnout isn't a badge of honor. It's a warning sign. Changing direction. Life isn't a straight path. You're allowed to pivot, to leave a career, a city, a dream that no longer fits. Society calls it quitting, but sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away from what's draining you. You'll face doubters. You're giving up too soon. You had a good thing going. But only you know when something no longer serves you. Trust yourself. 11, not having it all figured out. We're sold the myth that adulthood means certainty, that by a certain age you should have the answers. But life isn't a checklist. It's okay to be unsure, to explore, to change your mind. You don't owe anyone a perfect timeline. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. 12, protecting your peace. Not E. Very battle is yours to fight. Not every opinion deserves your energy. Some people thrive on chaos. Don't let them pull you into theirs. Disengaging isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Let the noise fade. Your peace is worth more than being. Right? The world will always have expectations, but you don't owe them your compliance. You owe yourself authenticity, the freedom to say no, to rest, to change course, to take up space unapologetically. Stop apologizing for being human. Stop shrinking to fit where you've outgrown. The right people, the right path, they won't ask you to betray yourself to belong. Now go. Live boldly, without explanation, without regret. 13, feeling your emotions fully. You were taught to suppress anger, hide sadness, and mute your joy to make others comfortable. But emotions aren't flaws, they're your compass. What you feel matters. When someone says, you're too sensitive, or just get over it, they're asking you to amputate parts of yourself to suit their comfort. Don't. Grief, rage, passion, these aren't weaknesses. They're proof you're alive. The right people won't ask you to sterilize your humanity. They'll hand you the match when you need to burn and the blanket when you need to heal. 14, taking up space. From childhood, we're conditioned to fold ourselves smaller, quieter voices, slouch shoulders, minimize dreams. But you weren't meant to live in the margins. Speak loudly, stand firmly, want fiercely. The world will call it arrogance when it's really just you finally occupying the room you've always deserved. 15, not being liked. People-pleasing is a cage. The moment you stop contorting yourself to be palatable, some will recoil. Let them. Your worth isn't determined by how many people approve of you. The most liberated version of you will be loved by fewer people, but loved truer. 16, prioritizing your mental health, canceling plans, leaving early, blocking numbers. These aren't failures, they're acts of survival. You don't owe anyone your deterioration. Therapists aren't for the lazy. Needing help isn't shameful, it's human. Protect your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. 17, letting go of perfection. Perfectionism isn't high standards, it's self-torture disguised as discipline. That voice whispering, not good enough, it's a liar. Finished is better than flawless. Messy progress beats paralyzed perfection. You're allowed to be a work in progress, always. Redefining success. The script is written, climb, hustle, accumulate. But what if your soul craves depth over dollars? What if your dream looks like stillness? You don't have to want what they want. A quiet life can be a revolutionary one. 19, choosing solitude over bad company. Loneliness hurts, but settling for hollow connections poisons slowly. Better to eat alone than with people who make you feel emptier. The right relationships will find you, not when you're desperate, but when you're whole. This is your permission slip. To feel deeply, to want buildedly, to rest unashamedly, to change constantly, to exist unedited. The world didn't give you this life. It's on loan from your future self. Stop apologizing for treating it with care. Now breathe and begin. 20, rejecting comparison. You were handed measuring sticks at birth, grades, salaries, relationships, timelines, as if life were a race with one finish line, but your path has no competitors. When envy whispers they're ahead of you, remember, you're not late. You're not behind. You're on a road no one else has walked. Their bloom doesn't negate your becoming. 21, embracing slow growth. We worship overnight success, but ignore the beauty of gradual transformation, the quiet years of planting before the harvest. Let others chase shortcuts. Your roots grow deeper in the dark. 22. Reclaiming your time. Every yes is a no to something else, often yourself. Guard your hours like the finite currency they are. You don't have to explain why you won't trade your life for meetings that could have been emails or events that drain your soul. Time stolen is peace you can't get back. 23. Honoring your body. It's not a project to fix, not a machine to optimize. It's the animal that carries your dreams, worthy of kindness regardless of size, ability, or scar. Eat without punishment, move with joy, rest without guilt. The culture profits from your shame. Your wholeness is your rebellion. 24. Unlearning toxic positivity. Good vibes only is spiritual bypassing. Real strength isn't plastering on a smile. It's staring grief in the face and saying, I see you, sit with me a while. You're allowed to be heartbroken and hopeful, riotous and forgiving, lost and learning, all at once. 25. Trusting your intuition, that gut feeling you talk yourself out of, the unease you rationalize away. Your body knows before your mind catches up. Not every red flag waves dramatically. Sometimes it's just a whisper. This isn't for you. Listen. 26. Rejecting false emergency. Most emergencies aren't. Most deadlines are arbitrary. The world will try to colonize your peace with manufactured chaos. Breathe. You don't have to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Celebrating small wins. We're trained to postpone joy until some future milestone, but what if the miracle is in the mundane, the morning coffee savored, the boundary held, the hard truth spoken softly? Happiness isn't a destination. It's the dust of ordinary moments glittering when the light hits just right. This isn't selfishness, it's sovereignty. The most radical act, showing up fully, messily, unapologetically for your one wild life. No more apologies for needing more, needing less, changing course, staying put, taking up room, walking away. The script they handed you was never yours to begin with. Now go, write your own. 28. Rejecting the myth of having it all. They sold you the lie that you can and should do everything. Career, family, passions, perfect health, constant productivity. But life isn't about accumulation, it's about alignment. You don't have to want it all. You get to choose what enough looks like, then release the guilt for what you let go. 29. Being the difficult. 1. When you stop nodding along to disrespect, they'll call you dramatic. When you refuse to laugh at offensive jokes, they'll say you're too serious. Let them. The right people will thank you for your honesty. The wrong ones will show themselves out. 30. Not monetizing your passion. Not every hobby needs to become a side hustle. Not every creative impulse must be commodified. You're allowed to paint terrible paintings, write bad poetry, or garden poorly just for the joy of it. Your worth isn't tied to productivity. Play is sacred. 31. Changing your style. You're not obligated to dress for your age, gender, or anyone's expectations. Wear the bold colors, dye your hair, reinvent yourself every decade or every Tuesday. Your body is your home. Decorate it how you please. 32. Admitting when you're wrong. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the ultimate strength. Saying I messed up doesn't diminish you, it humanizes you. The people worth keeping will respect your accountability more than your perfection. You don't owe anyone the version of you they imagined. Not your parents' dreams, not society's benchmarks, not even your younger self's expectations. You're allowed to change direction, to realize what once fit now chafes. Potential isn't a debt, it's a compass. 34. Enjoying guilty pleasures unironically, love reality TV, adore pop music, secretly enjoy romance novels, drop the guilty. Pleasure needs no justification. Life's too short to police your own joy. 35. Not being relatable. Your quirks, your niche passions, your unconventional choices. These aren't flaws. The right people will find your peculiarities fascinating, not alienating. Stop sanding down your edges to fit in. Belonging shouldn't require betrayal. This is your reminder. You weren't put here to be palatable, convenient, or digestible. You're here to unfold messily, gloriously on your own terms. No more apologies for existing exactly as you are. Now breathe and begin again. 36. Refusing to explain your choices. You don't owe the world justification for your decisions. What you eat, who you love, how you spend your time. Because I want to is reason enough. The compulsion to over-explain is just fear wearing a polite mask. 37, being inconsistent. Human beings aren't static characters in a story. You're allowed to love yoga and then quit it, to be extroverted one season and hermit-like the next. Growth isn't linear, it spirals. Not being productive. Rest isn't just for recovery between achievements. It's a sacred state all its own. You don't need to earn lazy Sundays or idle afternoons. Being is enough. 39. Having complicated relationships. Family isn't always blood. Love isn't always healthy. You can care deeply for someone while keeping them at arm's length. Nuance isn't weakness, it's wisdom. 40. Changing your values. What lit you up at 20 may feel hollow at 40. The beliefs you once clung to might now feel confining. Evolution isn't betrayal, it's aliveness. 41. Not having a dream. Not everyone has a singular passion, and that's okay. You're allowed to enjoy many things lightly rather than one thing obsessively. Quiet life with simple pleasures is its own masterpiece. 42. Being average at something you love. You don't have to monetize your hobbies or turn them into side hustles. It's okay to be a mediocre guitarist who plays for sheer joy. Mastery is optional. Delight is mandatory. 43. Outgrowing your past self. That person you were 5 years ago, they got you here, but you don't owe them loyalty. Forgive their mistakes, honor their journey, then release them. 44. Not being resilient all the time. Sometimes the bravest thing is admitting you're not okay. Strength isn't always about getting back up. Sometimes it's about letting yourself stay down until you're ready. 45. Wanting less. In a world screaming more, choosing simplicity is revolutionary. A small life can be a spacious one. Minimalism isn't deprivation, it's intentionality. The truth is this: every apology you swallow for being human is a theft from your own soul. Stop paying rents on spaces you were born to occupy freely. Now go live unreasonably, love unevenly, take up all the room you need. The world will adjust. 46. Rejecting the cult of busyness. You don't have to wear exhaustion like a badge of honor. I'm so busy isn't a personality trait. It's often just poor boundaries in disguise. The most profound lives have white space built in. 47. Enjoying your own company. Liking solitude doesn't make you antisocial. It makes you self-sufficient. There's immense power in being your own best, rather than constantly seeking external validation. 48. Not having an opinion in an age of hot takes. Sometimes the wisest stance is, I don't know enough to say. You're allowed to observe, to ponder, to change your mind after reflection. 49. Being bad at adulting. Forgot to meal prep? Let laundry pile up? Missed a bill payment? Welcome to being human. Basic survival skills aren't moral achievements, they're just chores. 50. Keeping some dreams private. Not every ambition needs an audience. Some seeds grow best when planted in silence, away from the harsh sunlight of others' opinions. 51. Moving at your own pace, whether you're the tortoise or the hare, changes by the day. Some seasons demand sprinting, others require crawling. Neither is superior, just different forms of forward motion. 52. Not fitting the mold. Square pegs eventually realize the problem wasn't their shape, but the insistence on round holes. Your quirks aren't flaws, they're clues. 53. Taking breaks from self-improvement. Sometimes the most growth happens when you stop trying to grow. When you simply exist without critique. You're not a project to fix, but a person to experience. 54. Being uninterested in popular things, not watching the trending show, not following the viral conversation. Cultural literacy is optional, not mandatory. Your attention is precious. Spend it where it nourishes you. 55. Changing your definition of happiness. What brought you joy at 25 might leave you empty at 45. This isn't failure. It's the inevitable evolution of a life actually being lived. At the end of all these unapologetic truths lies one fundamental reality. You were never meant to live according to someone else's checklist of how a proper human should be. The goal was never perfection, it was presence. Not approval, but authenticity. Now close this page and go practice the radical art of being exactly who you are. No disclaimers, no apologies, just the glorious, messy, unfinished masterpiece that is you. 56. Enjoying the ordinary. You don't need grand adventures to validate your existence. There's profound beauty in the unremarkable. The quiet mornings, the familiar streets, the comfortable routines. Life doesn't need to be extraordinary to be extraordinary. 57. Not being on brand. Consistency is overrated. You contain multitudes, the silly and the serious, the sacred and the profane. Stop editing yourself to fit a neat narrative. 58. Keeping some thoughts private in an oversharing world. Maintaining mystery is revolutionary. Not every insight needs to be a tweet. Not every feeling requires an auto. 59. Being behind on trends, you'll discover that book/music/show years late and it'll be just as meaningful. Cultural relevance is exhausting. Timeless connection is everything. 60. Not documenting everything. Some moments are meant to be lived, not curated. Put down the phone. Let experiences exist purely between you and your senses. 61. Having simple tastes. Luxury isn't universal. Your version of indulgence might be supermarket chocolate and old sweatpants. And that's perfectly valid. 62. Being unbothered by things that upset others. Your calm isn't indifference, it's discernment. Not every outrage needs to be yours. Save your fire for what truly matters to you. 63. Preferring comfort over style. Life's too short for uncomfortable shoes or restrictive clothing. Wear what makes your body feel at home in the world. 64. Not having a 5-year plan. Some of the best lives unfold like jazz. Improvisational, responsive, beautifully unpredictable. You're allowed to make it up as you go. 65. Keeping childhood loves alive? Still sleep with that tattered stuffed animal? Secretly enjoy cartoons? These aren't immature. They're threads connecting you to your sensual self. Here's the secret they never told you. The rules were made up by people no wiser than you trying to make sense of their own chaos. Your only real obligation? To stay true to that quiet voice within that knows when you're betraying yourself with shoulds and supposed tos. Now go, live lightly, love fiercely, take nothing personally, and apologize only when you've truly wronged someone, which almost never includes simply being yourself. The world needs more people brave enough to be imperfectly, unapologetically real, starting with you right now, as you are. The final permission slip. After all these pages, all these truths, here's what it comes down to. You were never meant to fit. You were meant to be. Not a better version, not a quieter version, not a more acceptable, digestible, marketable version. Just you, in all your glorious contradiction. The world will keep selling you smaller cages and calling them growth. Your only real work? To keep choosing the wild, untamed truth of yourself over and over and over again. No more apologies for taking up space. No more shrinking to make others comfortable. No more treating your existence like something that requires justification. The revolution is simple. Wake up, show up, refuse to apologize for either. Now close this book of permission slips and go write your own rules, the end, which is really just your beginning.